Okay, today I'm going to tell you how I quit my 9-to-5 job and was able to become a full-time DJ. First up, location. Look at where you're living and see if there's actually opportunity there. Because for where I was living in a small country town called Toowoomba, and out there, okay, it's a country city, but still there wasn't much opportunity within the nightlife space there. There's maybe 2 nightclubs max, and they're running, 1 to 2 nights, and the rest of it's just a few bars and stuff like that. So to be able to say like, hey, I'm gonna make a full-time living DJing, just unrealistic at that point. So for me, it was like, okay, where is this a reality? And Gold Coast, which in Australia is a massive nightlife / tourist hotspot. So for me, it was like, okay, that's an easy decision. I love the coast. And for me, that was the logical move. But in order to actually do this, I had to get a lot of things in order. Number one was figuring out the cost of living. So obviously how much rent is there and stuff like that. And then actually breaking down everything in my week into like an expenses sheet. And that was the easiest way to figure out how broke I can actually live. And this wasn't with the intention of being like, oh, I'm gonna be a broke, struggling DJ now. This was like just the reality of like, hey, I still need to make this much per week just to get by. Anything else from this point on is a bonus. So that for me was huge. So the biggest shift in this though was applying it to like actually projecting the framework of what a DJ would earn versus what I would earn in like a 9-to-5 situation. So in a 9-to-5 job, you'd be looking at it like, let's say in Australia, the average of say 25 bucks an hour. So to make $1,000 a week, that would be say 40 hours of work. So you need to change the scope that you're looking in. And for a DJ, the average DJ sort of residency rate was about $100 an hour. So if you start to look at it like that, to make $1,000, that's 10 hours. And that sounds a lot more attainable and a lot more achievable than trying to get 40 hours of DJ work. So once you've come up with that figure of how cheap or how broke you can kind of get by on and still be surviving, that's when you got to times it by 12. And why 12? Because that's 3 months. And that's kind of how I pick and choose what I kind of do in my life. And I kind of look at this as in seasons. So it's like, okay, I just need to buy a season in my life where I'm like, okay, I can take a chance and go all in on something. So for me, that number equated about, it should have been 12 grand, but it was like, okay, I got 10 grand here and that should be enough just to get me in the door. And then obviously hit the ground running as fast as I can, but that was my cushion. So once I had that amount, I had that figured out, that was the starting block. From there, now you gotta actually take the jump and be like, all right, cool, I'm going all in on this, bet on yourself. And not only that, get ready for a lot of rejection and a lot of sacrifice to follow as well. And I don't think like the average person realizes how much sacrifice is actually involved in having a career in the entertainment industry like this. It's like, and I was at that age between like 18 and 21 where everyone's having their birthdays and stuff. So you got to remember that you're sacrificing going to a lot of these events and stuff like that. And I know most 18 to 21-year-olds do not want to make that sacrifice. So this is one of those things that you need to look at as, short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. So that's what I sort of look at it as. And it's like, okay, if we put that all together, that's going to get us to where we actually want to go. And you got to keep in mind, this isn't for everyone, and if this was easy, then everyone would do it. So you got to be one of those people that's just going to be driven and get ready for that constant rejection and constant just reaffirming everything that you're doing. A lot of self-doubt, but then, also believing in yourself, but having that realistic belief as well. And I think that's where it comes down to working out those expenses, figuring out the bare minimum. And hey, it might not all be smooth sailing. You might have to go back to getting a part-time job, but at least now you put yourself in that position to actually progress your career by moving or whatever it is that you're sacrificing right now to actually get closer to the goal. And that's the most important thing. So in summary, for you to be able to apply this to your career, your life, I would just look at those 3 things. So number 1, location. Number 2, opportunity. And number 3, expenses. So hopefully that gets you on track towards your goal. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to, chat with you guys there. And until next time, work hard and stay creative.